Oh man, the carnage just will not stop. If you know Metal Slug, you should know the drill by now, as the never-ending destruction continued in 2002 with the release of Metal Slug 4 for the Neo Geo, and was ported to consoles a couple years later. This is the PlayStation 2 version, which was also packaged with Metal Slug 5 in the North American release. So in case you've watched my review of Metal Slug 3, or happen to be familiar with the history of SNK, you might be wondering how production of this sequel went underway after the developers went bankrupt in 2001, and the third installment was potentially the last game of the series. But a little South Korean company called Mega Enterprise collaborated with Noise Factory, the developers who made the music for Metal Slug 3, and they continued to carry the torch and took development duties upon themselves. When SNK later reformed as Playmore, the license was reacquired and Metal Slug 4 was able to see the light of day on consoles. But unfortunately, that little development backstory might explain why there's not really any new additions here to get too excited about. Where Metal Slug 2 and 3 consistently raised the bar and introduced great new elements and weaponry, 4 just kinda hit a plateau. There's some new characters, a double machine gun, and in one part you might get turned into a monkey. This home version also brings back the unlimited continues, so it's far too tempting to spam grenades and die your way through the new stages. Of course, that's your choice though, and there's no doubt Metal Slug 4 retains the white knuckle challenge that we all know too well. But compared to the third game, the action felt a bit too chaotic for me, and more memorization was required to progress legitimately. But that's not to say that Metal Slug 4 is a bad game, because it's still undeniably Metal Slug. The levels are still totally crammed full of carnage, and it's on par with the prior games. And it's still a total blast to blast your way through everything. But I guess with consistency comes a bit of repetition. And here, there's not a whole lot to make this installment stand out from the rest.